Hi, I'm Cindy Caldwell, the Happiness Queen, and you can find me at elegantinnerguidance.com. I want to thank you so much for stopping by today. We're entering the month of July 2013, and as has been for the first 6 months of the year, we're going to have a new theme here at Elegant Inner Guidance, something that we talk about and focus on and help to learn about throughout the month. And in the month of July, our theme is going to be faith. And I don't know how that strikes you, but I have to say I'm really looking forward to what is written this month about faith and what these videos talk about relative to faith, what I write and talk about. Because faith is a big subject in my mind. It's deep and it's broad and it really can be rather profound. So let's just start to examine it, but I want to examine it in our everyday lives because I think that's where faith can be the most valuable for each one of us. And I want to tell you a story today. It was like an aha moment in my life. And when I think back, it's kind of like, well, duh. But yet, we don't know what we don't know until we know it, obviously. And then sometimes it just seems so obvious. It's like, well, how could we have gotten that? But I didn't. And it wasn't until too many years ago, I one day had this profound awakening, I guess you could say, or just was that, wow, faith wasn't just the belief in a religion. So up to that point, I had always thought of faith as your belief in a religious doctrine. So no matter what religion you might be following, whether you're Christian or Jewish or Muslim or whatever your choice might be, if you had a strong belief in that doctrine, I always felt that just meant you had a strong faith or you had a faith. Christianity was your faith, Judaism was your faith, being Muslim was your faith, whatever that might be. So that was faith. And then on this given day, it was like, duh, faith is, it can be that, yes. But now what it is more importantly to me, it means the exercise of faith in our life. The stepping out when we don't know the answer, when we're not sure if it's the right step, but knowing that we need to take it, knowing that we have things within us, our confidence, our self-esteem, other qualities that can support us in that journey. But it isn't always easy. Matter of fact, it usually is not easy. If it was easy, it wouldn't require faith. So let's just talk about that. And it's amazing also how this year has unfolded that has brought us to the topic of faith. Because when I chose these themes for the year, I have to honestly say, I didn't have any grand plan. I just wrote them quickly down as topics that we could discuss. And yet here, as we enter faith, every one of the things that we've talked about is instrumental in exercising our faith and having faith within ourselves and faith in a higher power. I think faith, I believe, and whether you choose to believe or not, but this is my belief, that faith also stems for me into a connection with a higher power. And for me, I'm Christian, and that higher power I call God. And that each day as I take a step, it's God standing beside me or within me, supporting me, having the faith that he or she is there beside me to help me in this journey, whatever step I might be taking today. So in January, we talked about our choices. So faith can be a choice. It can be a choice to have faith and choose to exercise it, to apply it, or not, or to ignore it. In February, we talked about our thoughts and our words. And definitely, the self-talk that we have, the things that we're saying to ourselves, can be either a supporter or an enemy in helping us to have faith. So the more positive things that we can be saying to ourselves, surrounding ourselves with people that support us and the language that they use is supportive, the things that we say to ourselves is supportive. So all of those things contribute to the ease or the difficulty in exercising that faith in our life. And then our beliefs. What do we choose to believe? What do we believe? What do we believe that we don't know that we have a choice or not, that we never really thought about it? It's just so much a part of our being, we just thought that's the way the world works, when in fact, They might be chosen beliefs. And sometimes our beliefs can be detrimental to us. They might not support us in the journey that we want to take, in the path that we're currently on. So we have to bolster those beliefs. We have to take limiting beliefs and to turn them around, to work gradually to turn them around. So we strongly believe certain things about ourselves. We strongly believe maybe that we're confident, or that we have a strong self-esteem, or we know that subject and we can get out there and talk about it, or we can do that thing. We've practiced the sport, we've done what we've needed to do, we've done the work, and now is the time to get out there and to prove ourselves. We see that every 4 years, and every day virtually you can turn on the TV and watch some sporting event. And those people that are playing those sports have practiced for years and years and years. They have a belief in themselves that they can get out there at those levels and do those things. So they've bolstered their beliefs. And every one of us can do that for every belief that we have. We just need to practice and bolster it. And then the next month we talked about our fears and how our fears can stop us from taking those steps forward. And our fears can definitely get in the way of allowing us to exercise our faith. Or in fact, it's our fears that we're probably stepping through, and we're using our faith to take those steps. So every one of those things has an element in our exercising our faith. And then last month, we discussed our inner guidance and listening to that voice that is within you, that voice that I believe is God telling us the steps we should be taking, the journey that our life should be taking, the reason that we're on this earth. Those voices are telling us the things that we should be doing to live the life that God has us as an individual here to live. So all of those elements, choosing our beliefs, our thoughts, our fears, listening to our inner voice, our inner guidance, have an element, key elements in exercising our faith. And the ease or difficulty of exercising our faith. And it's not easy. In the easier times in our lives, when faith is simpler, it's still not easy, because there's always those voices in our head. There's always the voices of people around us. If we turn on the TV and we hear things, we start to think, well, should we do that? What will people think? What if I fail? And those voices in our head, those conversations, people saying things to us, can have an effect on our faith. And whether or not we're willing to ignore those things, knowing that we're on the right path, we're taking the steps that we need to take as an individual to live the life that we're here to live. So I want you to think about that this coming week. How is faith playing out in your life? Have you ever thought about it? Did you have the belief that I did, that faith was simply a belief in a religion? Or that it was really, having faith in yourself, but exercising that faith, when maybe all things around you aren't supporting you in that, but deep down you know you need to do that. That is applied faith. That's what Napoleon Hill called it in Think and Grow Rich, applying your faith to take the steps to lead you to your destiny, really. So think about that this week, when it's not so easy in taking those steps and exercising faith in your life. And each week this month, I'm going to talk further about that. How can we bolster our faith muscle, so to speak? Faith is a little bit like a muscle. You have to keep using it and keep using it to build it up and build it up. But you're never finished. It's always a day-to-day job. But you got to do it if you want to live the life that you're here to live, and to live your destiny, and to have, ultimately, authentic happiness in your life, and to be an authentically happy individual. I'm Cindy Caldwell, the Happiness Queen, and you can find me at elegantinnerguidance.com. Thanks so much for stopping by.